Today, I want to talk to you about Queen Elizabeth. Why? Because everybody else is talking about Queen Elizabeth. But more so because there is a lesson that I experienced regarding Queen Elizabeth that can lead to a long life. I have an advantage over everybody else in terms of Queen Elizabeth because what I have to say about her, I said 10 years ago. It was in a sermon on June 16th, 2012, 10 years ago. And I said, and I'm going to read exactly what I said. A few weeks ago, Queen Elizabeth celebrated her Diamond Jubilee, 60th anniversary of her coronation as Her Royal Majesty of Great Britain. British people are really enamored with her and her royal family. I could feel it when I was in London last month during the weeks leading up to her celebration. Every street, every store, every newspaper had something about the celebration. My feeling about the celebration, I couldn't have cared less. The monarchy has no meaning to me. And in fact, Buckingham Palace could use a facelift. That's what I had to say. But then I went on to say the following. But if I'm honest with myself, I have to admit my negative feelings about the Queen are based on one very significant fact. Neither she nor any member of her family have ever paid an official visit to the state of Israel. Now, it's not as if the Queen has had difficulty in traveling. After all, her husband can schlep the luggage. He doesn't seem to have anything else to do. During her reign, Queen Elizabeth has made 261 official visits overseas, but not to Israel. No other country has been snubbed by the royal family like Israel has been. That was true. And it did affect how I felt about her. But here's the big lesson. I went on in that speech to say, and yet having told you all this, I'm not lying when I tell you that I wish the Queen well, and I extend to her wishes of Mazel Tov on the 60th celebration of her reign. See, when I was in London and spoke with some leaders of the Jewish community there, I could not get over the positive feelings they have for the Queen. A Queen whom they toast at every festive occasion, a Queen whose celebration they participated in a full heart. The fact that she and her family have never visited Israel is explained by some as being the fault of the British Foreign Office. But those who do not accept this excuse acknowledge that the Queen and her family have had a very cordial relationship with the Jews of Britain. In fact, she had a Moel circumcise her children. So now I have to admit, not such a bad record. And that's why I can wish her at 86 that she should live until 120. Well, she didn't make it to 120, but she did pretty good for herself. And I have to say, I feel really good about what I said about the Queen. Because according to Jewish tradition, that can guarantee me a long life. There's a statement in the Talmud regarding Reb Zera. Reb Zera lived a long life, and his students asked him, what did he do to warrant such a long life? And he said, Mi yomai lo hikpadati betoch beisi. In all my years, I was never petty or picky with those in my household, and even more so with others. You see, had I only delivered the first half of my speech about the Queen, it would have been a classic example of being picky, of finding fault and blinding myself to her virtues. We do that a lot these days. Gorbachev dies, and people write, he didn't accomplish so much. Russia is still authoritarian, and it was only because of pressure that they released Soviet Jewry. Yeah. But let's not forget the fact he tore down the Iron Curtain in Berlin. He made the Soviet Union fall apart. He brought freedom to the press. He freed so much of the Russian mindset. Are we going to be picky and just notice the things he didn't do? Anthony Fauci announces he's retiring, and he didn't have such a great record. The coronavirus, he didn't handle well, and this and that. Yeah, he made mistakes. Who hasn't? But for 50 years, he was the face of public health in America. He did so much in combating AIDS and in helping us through the coronavirus and so much more. Are we going to be picky? Are we going to just find fault? Don't do it if you expect to live a long life. I'm glad I did it for Queen Elizabeth. I'm glad I do it with all of you. And I hope as you come into the new year, you won't be picky when it comes to others. You'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And you, like the Queen, will be blessed with a long, full life. Shabbat Shalom.